Hello everyone, welcome to my grow room today. I want to talk to you about a couple different things. First of all, it can be expensive gardening, and so we always have to do what we can to be able to save money. So at the end of the season, I was able to procure these organic 3-in-1 seed starting mix potting soil for us to use as we begin potting up our seeds and getting ready for spring. But if you look at the back of the potting mix bags, you will notice that a lot of them use forest products. That's what they call it. There might be a little bit of fertilizer in here, not much to sustain a plant for a long period of time. But the thing that we must do is we have to screen it. Because if we don't screen it, we're going to get a lot of debris and a lot of hard particles, such as here, that are coming out of the soil that will really inhibit the growth of our seedlings. And look how big some of this stuff is. I mean, imagine that laying on the top and the poor little seedlings under it trying to push its way through. It's never going to make it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to screen our seedlings, or seedling mix. And I want to show you the difference. So this is the mix. So it looks pretty okay, right? Well, let's start sifting and see what gets left behind. This is what's getting left behind. Giant particles of things. Giant. So let's see if I can try squishing them. I can squish them up a little bit, but you know, it's still not something that we want to have in our soil. And so when I do that, look at what I'm left with. Beautiful, beautiful seedling mix. So this is really important to do. And you know, it really doesn't matter what brand it is, who it's from. You really should do it for all of them because you're going to find a lot of this debris in the soil. Now, another thing that's been a game changer, a lot of us, because we're trying to fight the fungus gnat, we put boiling water into the soil to ready it in the hope that we're killing the fungus gnat eggs. Well, there's a game changer, something new and different that I'm using, and it's working pretty well for me. So you can see these mosquito bits, and it actually talks about fungus gnat on it, and there's directions on the back on how to make the water. You put 4 tablespoons in a gallon of water, like let it sit for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know, even overnight, whatever. And then what I'm going to do to moisten the soil is I'm going to use that water that has these mosquito bits in it that's been dissolved, and I'm going to put that in here, and that's how I'm going to try to kill the eggs of the fungus gnat. And so far it's been working pretty well for me. I usually have in my grow room one of those Zevo sticky things that catches bugs. So that's a good indicator to me that helps me understand what's happening in the room, whether or not I have any insects or not. So that's been a game changer for us. And then the other thing is that then you do it once a week. So whatever you pot up, you water it with that once a week for 3 weeks to kill the life cycle. And then once you've killed the life cycle, then hopefully you won't have any fungus gnats, because those things are dreadful. Because what they do is they get into your doyle, and the worms, the fungus gnat grows, lays eggs, the little larvae are in the dirt, and they're eating the roots of your plants, which could inhibit your plant. So it's really important that we do that. And I just happen to have some of it right here. And so I'm going to pour it into my soil, because I'm going to be potting up and, you know, planting some things, because it's January and it's very busy. Everyone thinks, oh, it's winter time, there's nothing to do for the garden. There's plenty to do for the garden to get ready for spring. And so I'm going to stir this up, moisten it up, and then I'm going to have myself some beautiful soil that I can work with and then begin potting up.
Hello. Today I want to talk to you about fertilizer. So you really need to know what you're doing when it comes to fertilizer, and basically the fertilizing companies make it super confusing for you. And so I want to show you 3 examples of fertilizer. I always try to buy fertilizer on sale because it's expensive. And I try to go organic as well. And they have non-organic, but you know, organic, or whether it's organic or not, it's still a chemical, right? We're putting a chemical down. So that's why I prefer organic, because I want it to break down. But so for instance, you could see this bumper crop. It says it's starter food. Basically, they're talking about for seedlings. And it's a 3-5-2, okay? Then there's this bumper crop. This is a 4-6-3. So as long as the numbers are pretty close together, it really doesn't matter. You don't have to get special fertilizer for your plants. Say, for instance, you don't have to do a special one for your berries or your apple trees or your vegetables. As long as the numbers are pretty much close together, it's going to provide the nutrients that the plant needs. And that's really all that matters. Now, the other thing is we have a lot of vegetables that we're starting in January. And, you know, in my zone, 6B, a lot of them aren't going to go out into the soil until maybe April, possibly May. So they're not going to be able to survive without any food for that period of time because soils don't have a lot of nutrients in it. So the one that I rely on is this, the Grow Big. And on the back, it has instructions on how to feed your seedlings. And you don't start feeding seedlings until they have the second true leaves. And then the formula is on the back of this because you want to be able to make sure they're strong and healthy before we put them outside. So I just wanted to touch base with all of you with fertilizer and let me know what works for you. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.